Today I'll be teaching you how to make a corset bodysuit. First off, I'm going to be cutting the corset pattern. As you can see, my fabric is on fold. I had to make use of a sellotape to place the paper pattern down. Now I'm going to be taking my shoulder to my bust point measurement. Now I'm going to take my shoulder to my under bust line. Mark out your shoulder to your waistline. So my shoulder to my waistline is 17 inches. The secret to bodysuit is if your waist is 16 inches, you add 1 inch to it. So let's say if your waist is 17 inches, you add 1 inch to it. That's 18 inches. Move downwards your waistline by 1 inch to mark your sewing allowance. So you can make your sewing allowance 0.5, it depends on you, but for this tutorial I'm making use of 1 inch sewing allowance. I forgot to label my lines, so I'm just doing that right away. So that's my under bust and this is my waistline, and now I'm marking my allowance line. Divide your shoulder measurement into 2 and add 0.5 inches allowance and mark. From your shoulder point, come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope and connect the line as shown in the video. From your shoulder slope, mark out your arm circumference. So my arm circumference is 7.3 inches and I'm just going to mark that. So I'm going to label this my armhole line. From the armhole line, I'm going to mark my bust circumference. So I'll divide my bust circumference into 4 and add 2 inches sewing allowance. I'm going to get the center point of our armhole and come inwards by 0.75 inches. I just curve my armhole and don't like that sharp point that is coming out, so I'm just going to recurve that part. The bust measurement we took on our armhole line, we are going to extend it to our bust point. On our under bust line, we are going to mark our under bust circumference. So I'm dividing my under bust circumference into 4 and adding 2 inches allowance. Also divide your waist circumference into 4 and add 2 inches seam allowance. Whatever you have on your waistline, you extend it to your allowance line. So now it's time to connect all lines together. Now take out your bust span measurement on your bust point. So my bust span measurement is 3.5 inch and I'm taking it on my bust point. I'm also extending the line to my under bust, my waistline and my allowance line. Connect all lines together. On my under bust, I'm going to mark 0.5 inches on both sides, while on my waistline, I'm going to mark 0.75 inches on both sides. Whatever I have on my waistline, I'm going to extend it to my allowance line. On my bust span measurement on my bust point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect these lines. Now it's time to connect all lines together. On the middle part of the bust point, I'm going to come inwards by 1/2 inch. I'm making use of this white cup, so I'm going to place this cup on my under bust line and ensuring that this pointed part is on that 0.5 inches that we marked. I'm tracing my cup. So for you to understand the reason why I'm tracing my cup this way, it's best for you to watch my corset pattern tutorial, which I had uploaded some days ago. From this part of the cup, I'm just going to extend it to my armhole. We do not need this middle part of our dart, so I'm just going to mark it as an unwanted line. Since we've marked it as an unwanted line, whatever we have there, I'm going to transfer it to the side seam as shown in the video. Now I'm going to connect all lines together. Remember, we didn't take anything on the bust point, so we are safe there. I circled the previous side seam, so we are going to pretend as if that line does not exist. It's time to cut our pattern. Our front panel is ready, so I'm just going to label it center front and side front. To cut our back panel, remember to take in your 2 inches zip allowance. So this particular corset bodysuit requires a zip. I had to split my pattern paper into 2 because it was taking a whole lot of space. Right now, I'm placing our center front on the zip allowance line and I'm going to transfer our front dart. Remember, on the underbust, we took 0.5 inches on both sides, and on the waistline, we took 0.75 inches on both sides. I'm going to place my side front on the dart point that we took. I'm going to connect my lines as shown in the video. I'm going to trace this point. And I'm going to trace our side seam. From my zip allowance line, I'm going to take my bust span measurement at the back, which is 3.5 inches, and I'm going to really straight line upwards and mark 0.5 inches on both sides to take our back dart. After drafting, remember to add allowance as shown in the video. For us to cut the lower part of the bodysuit, I'm starting by taking my waist measurement. Our waist to our crouch is 12 inches, so I'm going to deduct 2.5 inches from the 12 inches. I'm going to tell you the reason why I deducted 2.5 from the crouch measurement. After deducting 2.5 from 12 inches, I have 9.5 inches left, so I'm going to mark out the 9.5 inches. From the waistline, I'll come down by 2 inches. From the 9.5 inches line, I'm going to mark out 1.5 inches. Using a straight ruler, I'm going to connect the points as shown. Get the middle point and come inwards by 1 inch. Connect your lines together as shown in the video. We do not need the previous line. Mark out 2 inches for your zip allowance. Place your front panel on it as shown in the video. From this center point, I'll come up by 1 inch. Connect the lines together. This part, I'm going to extend what I have here. Since I have 1.5 inches here, so I'm going to add additional 1.5 inches. So now, this is our front panel, this is our back panel. First off, you are going to join these two together, then join your cup before joining your waistline together. So guys, can you remember the 2.5 inches we took from here? So we are going to bring back that 2.5. Remember, this is supposed to be 12 inches. This is supposed to be 12 inches. So we took 2.5 from here, 2.5 from here. So that's 5 inches. On a folded paper, mark out 5 inches. Since I have 1.5 inches here, I'm going to place it here too. So then on this part, I'm going to take my back panel, whatever I have here, I'm going to transfer it to this point. One thing about the back is that by the time we are sewing, we must have sewn the zip part, so we don't need the zip part to cut this place. So I'm going to fold out this zip part. I don't need this zip part, so whatever we have here, we are going to transfer it to this point. So I have 3.5 inch, so I'm going to mark out 3.5 inch. And this is how it's going to be. This is going to be an attachment. You are going to join this one to this one. So for the bottom part, it's going to be this way. So this is like an attachment. We're going to join it this way. And that's all for this video.